Colton County last.
All right, Alicia and Seema, thank you so much. So breaking first here at 4 o'clock, sources say that Alec Murdaugh could be facing charges in the death of his wife and son.
That's right. Several sources tell our sister station that the former South Carolina attorney is expected to be indicted for their murders this week. Paul and Maggie Murdaugh were found shot and killed on the family's hunting property in Colton County last summer. Now, Alex Murdaugh found them. SLED has been investigating the case since that date, but offered very few details to what may have happened. Since their deaths, a series of revelations have come about Alex Murdaugh. He's now facing a total of 83 charges for several crimes, including fraud, money laundering, and taking settlement money meant for a family of his housekeeper who died at his home. He was charged with setting up a botched suicide attempt when he tried to pay a man to kill him. Right now, he's still in jail on a $7 million bond. Several sources say a grand jury will meet later this week to potentially indict him in the murders of his son and wife.
39-year-old Matthew Gribben of Elkhorn faces multiple charges, 4 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a child under the age of 13, and 2 counts of exposing a child to harmful material. A criminal complaint against him details 5 victims and multiple incidents dating back to 2019. The complaint says Gribben admitted to the incidents for, quote, sexual gratification. Gribben worked at Dousman Transport Company, but has since been fired. The Delavan Darien School District calls his alleged behaviors, quote, completely unacceptable. Gribben is at the Walworth County Jail tonight on $150,000 bail.
Chatham County deputies say they've arrested a woman for a series of break-ins. They say it happened in areas highlighted right there on your screen between last fall and May. Investigators say this one took years. So break-ins. They say they found jewelry, clothes, shoes, and other stolen items in her home. Investigators believe she pawned some items and sold some at local flea market.
All new at 5, several alleged child predators have been caught accused of soliciting sex to minors.
Yeah, so today the Oakland County Sheriff shared the results of a recent undercover sting aimed to give families peace of mind. Fox News' Ingrid Kelly has a closer look.
For the second time in 2 months, we have undertaken a sting operation seeking out those that are targeting kids.
Law enforcement officials in Oakland County making it clear they will not tolerate those who victimize kids.
We are announcing the arrest of 3 individuals that used the internet to arrange what they thought was going to be a sexual encounter with a child under the age of 15.
Officials identified the men as 45-year-old Richard Prayuja of Clarkston, 64-year-old Fazlola Haritesh of Farmington Hills, and 61-year-old John Diggins of Corona.
July 6th, at a location selected in Independence Township, we arrested these 3 adult males that were attempting to entice and have sex with girls under the age of 16.
Investigators say the men showed up at different times and are now facing a number of charges, which include
each are charged with 4 felonies: child sexually abusive material, felony up to 20 years in prison or a $100,000 fine, using a computer to commit a crime.
The men were released on bond on Saturday with the condition that they do not have contact with children they are not related to.
Bond was set at $75,000 for Haritesh, and the other 2 received $50,000 cash or surety.
Officials say these men may be the ones who got caught, but once the sting started, almost immediately, interested men engaged in electronic conversation with the person pretending to be a child.
As soon as they started this undercover operation, they received messages from all over the country. This time 3 men from Michigan, 2 of which tragically and sadly from Oakland County participated.
The sheriff says he hopes the message is clear about what will happen when adults target kids for sexual encounters.
If you target kids, we're going to target you.
In Southfield, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
A group of 6 friends from the village and the town of Hamburg are all now facing charges after another man was found stabbed to death over the weekend. Good evening again, I'm Scott Levin.
And I'm Mary Alice Demler. While the investigation continues, the district attorney is now talking about some of the elements of this unusual case. Ron Plants was in the courtroom at Hamburg Town Hall this afternoon, and he joins us with those details. Ron?
Scott, Mary Alice, Hamburg police detectives spent yesterday piecing this case together, trying to understand exactly what happened here and why it happened in this incident that took the life of 25-year-old Brendan Benoit of the town of Boston. Police say it happened just before midnight in a wooded area near Helms Road in the Lakeview section of Hamburg, near the 18-Mile Creek. That's a popular gathering spot for young people, we're told. All such 6 suspects, as you see there before a Hamburg town judge, 3 men, 3 women between the ages of 26 and 18. The women actually sobbing in court at times. Police say the women allegedly picked up Benoit, the victim, in their car, lured him towards the woods where he was assaulted, first with a punch, and then he was allegedly stabbed in that car. This was portrayed by the prosecutor in court as a well-planned attack, but the district attorney said 5 of those involved apparently surprised that 26-year-old Jared Adamski, seen there before the judge, who was charged with first-degree manslaughter, allegedly stabbed the victim. The DA also hinting at some additional motive in this case, which is still under investigation.
The evidence that we have right now is that the alleged intent was to cause serious physical injury and not death. But again, it resulted in death. That may change though. I have a reason why these young men and women wanted to lure him to this area. I am just not, at this time, not going to articulate that and get into it because that is, quite frankly, a key part of the evidence that I don't want to divulge right now.
Adamski, who was again charged with first-degree manslaughter, not granted any bail. He's being held at the holding center. The 5 others involved, technically charged as accomplices with second-degree assault: 20-year-old Harrison Rosen, 22-year-old Connor Crone, 19-year-old Kaylee Skivik-Shu, 18-year-old Larissa Smith, and 20-year-old Alexis Dean. The court order of protection also issued against these individuals on behalf of another person